So some of you might have remembered that we were having some issues before with the tier list where we were running out of space, right? And so I had to keep making the PNG smaller and smaller. I keep making the logos smaller and smaller. But eventually I've come to the realization I can't keep making these smaller. It won't work, chat. So I have increased the resolution. I've increased the canvas size. Now the canvas is way bigger. It is now gone from 1920 by 1080 to I think it is 3500 by 2000. Well, let me see here. It is 3500 by 2000. So you know, there you go. But it gave us more space. Look, look how much space we have now. Do we need a magnifying glass? Well, yeah. I mean, to zoom in, but like now you can actually read when you zoom in. Before, zooming in didn't really help. Also, this has taught me that not every logo is created equally. Like, some people's logos are very high quality, and some people's logos is like DDLC, the RPGs. Actually, that's my fault. I think I had to create that logo. I think I was the reason for that. And I'm the reason that logo is low quality, because I made that. So yeah, it's like, very nice. What is this, a tier list for ants? It is. The ants will be able to know exactly what I want to see in a mod. Seriously, yeah, this should help. Yeah, I mean, especially considering I've been adding the download to the tier list in the descriptions now, so people can download the image for themselves. So yeah. Oh, went for me. Yeah. It's like some people who get more creative with their things, it either helps them or it hurts them. Like A Date with Yuri, you know, it helps him stand out. But then it's like, you know, Dreams of Literature Noir does not look very good zoomed out. Sadly. It does help it stand out among all the pink, though. What about the grandmas and child? They see the logo. They'll have to down. I mean, I'll zoom in when I'm moving the tier. I'm moving to the tier. I mean, it doesn't really matter right now because we're only really going to talk about the mods that we are actually moving. So, you know, when people want to see it, they'll be able to see it in the video.
I'm back.
I'm showing the chat the gigantic fucking how big the tier list is now.
Let me see. Actually,
the resolution has been made bigger. Doki Vision. But yeah, now let me get rid of this little. Let me get rid of the title so we can show the mods. Actually, first let me thank the subs. Thank you for the resub prime resub. Donglioid? Oh, dong. Glad I was finally able to catch a stream. Welcome. And thank you for the prime resub, Kathos, 31 months. God damn. But honestly, I got to watch a stream live, but seeing another tier list video again and seeing Pierce with that sad face on it still always makes me smile. I'm glad to know Pierce's misery makes you happy.
Makes me happy too.
Holy shit, you got a 2.5 year badge. Damn, you're close to like the 3-year badge. I think you're the closest we've seen. Alright, but now let me get rid of this little logo down there and let's show the mods we are rating today. Bah! These are today's ratings. We have Doki Doki Retry. We have from Doki Doki Takeover Bad Ending, Doki Doki Within's Act 1 demo, and I Want More Sayori. She's cute. And Hear Me Now. I had to add a little title to Hear Me Now because I feel like if I just put that logo, nobody would know what the fuck mod that was. They'd be like, what is this mod? Just Sayori and Monica. And I'm like, okay.
Sayori and Monica in it.
Yeah, so I had to put a little title for it so people would actually know what the hell I'm talking about. So, it is time. I guess you know what, let's let chat decide how the order, or like what we're gonna do. Chat, what do you want to see right first? Which one do you want to see right first? Whatever I see most in the chat, I'll fucking wins. Cause I don't feel like doing a poll every time. retry. I see some bad endings. See, I'm seeing a lot of retries. I think I've seen the most retries, so I guess I'll do retry. Alright. Retry. Oh, retry. Alright, so retry was a mod where it was Sayori died, if I recall, right? Yeah, she hung herself, and then it pulled like a sneaky, and it apparently it was like, it made it seem like MC went back in time. You thought it was like a relapse situation, but the mod then reveals itself to actually be MC's in a coma, and he's imagining all this stuff. It baited you, so I was like, oh shit. So that twist was pretty cool, but the mod did suffer for some issues though. Like, I think the time, like a lot of the time when when certain scenes took place was very confusing. Like the whole Monica and MC like talking thing, that apparently was later revealed to be like a flashback, and I didn't know that till later because the mod didn't really present itself in a very good way for that. Like, it was very confusing with that. Monica and MC's relationship, and because of that, Monica and MC's relationship is like the other issue. It feels very just forced and random to a degree. Like, it doesn't really have, it doesn't feel organic. It just kind of felt like it was just there. Like, it was a neat concept for, you know, MC to actually be in love with somebody other than, say, like, to actually find, like, you know, to be in love with someone other than Sayori. Because, you know, most of these, like, Sayori-type mods, most of them have the idea of MC was in love with Sayori, like, you know, but this was the idea was just, you know, she was his friend, and that's why he's sad, you know? So it was one of the few times I think I've seen in like an after Sayori mod that actually did that, but the way it was implemented, I feel was very odd. It had a very nice heartfelt moments at the end, though. I think that was really nice. There was like that little, the way MC talks, I think when he's looking at the grave, like, that feels very robotic. I remember that scene. That was very odd. But overall, I think the mod itself, it did its job. I think it's a solid B+, honestly. Like, I feel like it had a few weird things here and there, but for what the mod was attempting to do, I feel like it succeeded. It was obviously just trying to be a mod that was about MC getting over Sayori's the death of Sayori, and it did it in an interesting way. I did like how it did it, so I think it's a B+. B+, it fucked my head a little bit. Yeah, I think it's a solid B+. Starts real slog, but it picked up near the end. Yeah, that's where I was like, yeah, the start definitely made it a B. Can't really, I wouldn't consider it an A, but I think it picked up pretty well. I think it's at least a B+. All right, next. Who's next on the chopping block, chat? I see 2 bad endings. I see 2 withins. I see 1 hear me now. I see another within. I see another within. Or a lot of people are saying within. Okay. I guess we're going with within. Come here, you. All right, within. Oh, okay. Within was the mod where it's basically, as far as I can tell, it feels like it's basically Monica exit music. Whether that's a good or bad thing depends on your opinion on the original exit music. So far, Within does have plenty of, plenty of issues. There is a lot of weird problems with the mod. There's some music placement that feels very off. There is how comfortable a lot of the girls seem to be. Like, MC barely joins the club, and they're, like, already saying things to where it feels like they've known him for, like, weeks almost.
Yeah.
There's the emotional timing of some of the things MC says, where he's just like, oh, ever since my dad died, and you're like, okay. Or when he's just like, Sayori's had terrible depression her entire life.
Yeah, you knew that, right?
Like, the way he just reveals things, we're just like, okay. A lot of references. One of the issues our twin realities suffered. There's a lot of references, a lot of, like, on-the-nose references, too. Like, they're not even really, like, trying to hide them. They felt very on the nose. think I already mentioned music placement. Some of the girls' personalities, you know, Yuri being, I guess, just kind of an asshole. A lot of them are actually kind of assholes, besides Monica. Like, Yuri's just trying to steal Monica's boyfriend, just straight up, with no remorse, it feels, for her actions. Sayori feels, like, really responsible, while Monica doesn't. Like, this feels like a Fleeting Feelings situation. Except, in Fleeting Feelings, that was the point of the mod, and in this, it just feels weird, because no one's bringing up how odd it is. Like, Sayori feels way more responsible than Monica does in this mod so far. And Monica has been, like, crying, like, almost at, like, the drop of a hat. And, like, I don't know. To me, that does not seem like the type of character Monica is. To me, it feels like Monica's the type of character to where she can cry, but it feels like she's someone who, it's like, it's gonna take a lot for her to really, like, break down like that. And, like, it feels like Monica in this cries way too easily. And Natsuki, yeah, Natsuki swears a lot. I would prefer she, you know, I'm not saying Natsuki can't swear at all. If you want her to swear a little bit, sure, whatever. But it's like, they make her a sailor in this mod, man. Like, it's a little too much. It feels like they wrote a Sayori mod and they're like, actually, I want a Monica mod. It kind of feels like that, yeah, actually. You make a good point, Eggwiz. It definitely feels like this could have been a Sayori mod, and then it switched to a Monica mod. Because Monica feels like, she even feels like, she kind of acts like Sayori. Like, feels like she has depression. It feels like she has depression more than the character who is confirmed to have depression in this mod. Like, it kind of feels like they wanted it to make a Sayori mod, but then they decided to switch it later. Like, it feels very odd. In terms of the positives, the CGs look really nice. There's some cute scenes in there, obviously. Oh, I remember one of my other negatives, though, if I sang that. We don't get any of those cute scenes. It feels like this mod is constantly, like, rushing things. Like, MC and Monica's relationship just feels like it's just going. Like, it's just, like, speeding through. Like, we don't get to, and the mod will act as if those things happen, but we didn't get to see them. Like, they'll be like, me and Monica spent some time talking or something, but we'll never see what they talked about. They just skipped over it.
The actual chemistry and relationship growth is not shown at all.
It's just skipped over and implied. Like, it's just, it implies that it happens, and it's, like, in a mod, and I think I mentioned, I was like, in a mod like maybe Fruits or something, I'd expect that, because Fruits, obviously, the main story is, you know, somewhere else. So, not focusing on that, sure, whatever, you know, that's not the focus. The focus is Secret Agent Man, you know, whatever. But in this, it's like, the main focus is obviously MC and Monica's relationship. So, by not having scenes to show them get closer, it's like, you're not really, you know, it's like there's nothing to show. Like, I'm not feeling anything for this. So, also, this is a nitpick. It feels weird. I don't know. I feel like Monica's attempted suicide feels very unnecessary. Like, I don't know how to word.
I don't think I was there for that.
Like, well, no, yeah, well, this is another thing, because it's when MC confesses that he loves her. He confesses right after she's told him that she's attempted suicide before. But it feels very unnecessary. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it should have existed. Like, it doesn't feel like it affects Monica's behavior in any way. Like, it doesn't really feel like it felt like it was just kind of there to be like, man, isn't Monica's life even more tragic? But it's like, it just felt like it was like a checklist. Like, I feel like it's very unnecessary. Like, it didn't really have to be there. I feel like Monica can still have a pretty sad life of, you know, of being seen as perfect when she can't, you know, having high standards. And having just, you know, a dad who's holding her to those high standards. I feel like her life can already be that depressing. I feel like the whole she attempted suicide before just felt very unnecessary. And slightly out of character.
Slightly. It would take a lot to bring her to something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like, it's also slightly out of character for her. Like, yeah, like, I feel like a character like Monica, it feels like it would take a lot to make her attempt suicide. Considering in the base game, even after she's having, like, a meltdown about, you know, her world being insane, she just considers it. She just says, like,
what if I did that?
Yeah, she's like, I could. She's like, but I'm not gonna, you know? Like, because she cuts herself. She's like, I see why Yuri likes this so much, but I'll never do that again. So it's something where it's like, even when, like, her mind is completely, and even when she's not thinking like, straight, she still wouldn't do it. Yeah. So it feels just kind of out of character, too. But yeah, overall, I think Within is a solid C. I think it's a solid C tier. I can definitely see why people like it though. It has plenty of cute moments if you just want a cute, like, a cute mod to date Monica and stuff. I can definitely see the appeal. Like, it definitely has its moments of cuteness. Like I said, I especially love the final scene of the final day. I feel like that was handled extremely well. Like when they were getting records and stuff with getting records about MC's father. Like that was nice. Like, I think it's a solid C. I think it's a solid C, close to B, I feel, maybe. If it didn't have Evil Yuri. Like, it's close to B. If I had a B-, I'd probably give it a B-, honestly. But I don't know if I want to make a B-. Like, if I had a B- tier, I'd probably get a B-. I feel like Evil Yuri kind of pushes it down. And mostly because also, like I mentioned, I think in the playthrough, the side stories are apparently canon in the mod, which just kind of makes it even worse that Yuri is willing to do this shit to somebody who helped her so much, you know? It's like, in the side stories, Monica helps Yuri open up and shit, so to see her fucking just, like, want to just steal her boyfriend, it just kind of feels like it's shitting all over their friendship that they worked so hard to create. Thank you for the resub, Chief Stern. 7 total, let's go. Sir, what do you mean? Yuri's an awful person. Didn't you play Act 2 of the base game? True. Make a B-. No! I'll make a B- when there's enough mods that warrant a B-. So far, all I can name is like 1, which is Within. I think.
Wasn't there another mod you wanted to put B-?
There might have been one in B that I was thinking about B-, but I'm not sure. Maybe R2 Realities, I think. That's only 2. That's not enough. I think it was R2 Realities I wanted to put in B-. That's not enough. Well, actually, I don't know. Would I consider Within worse than R2 Realities or better than R2 Realities? See, I think the problem is because in R2 Realities, there's not much for me to really complain about because not much really happened in it because of the type of mod it is. Because, you know, it's like, it was like an after-story-esque mod, so there was nothing really to complain about besides, like, you know, references or, like, the fact they say I love you too much. Like, for the most part, Monica was in character, I think, in R2 Realities. I mean, R2 Realities. I think Monica, I'm pretty sure, for the most part, the characters were in character. Within, it's like the characters feel very off. So, I guess R2 Realities is technically did do a better job.
Get a load of this.
Oh god, thank you for the 5 gift sub, Toby. I appreciate it. I got a load of that. Fucking, I cannot listen to Last Surprise anymore, considering that's like our $100 donation sound.
I didn't get scared. Oh!
I'm like, huh? I'm like, alright. Is that the mod or Phoenix, right? And Edgeworth show up? Yep. That is R2 Realities. Why don't you ditch the letters and have it be a scale between best and worst mods? Because I feel like it's easier with the letters. The letters let me be more specific. By saying best and worst, that's way too broad.
Yeah.
They're too broad to be like, this good, this bad. Like, that's an extremely broad way of saying something.
This good and this bad.
I was like, with the letters, it's like I'm able to actually signify which I like more than the other. Alright. Next. What is next? Alright. DDTO bad ending. I want more Sayori bad ending. Oh my god, this is like fucking split. Oh wait, is it split? Hold up. I see 4 bad endings. I see 5 Sayoris. It's between Sayori and bad ending. It is between Sayori and bad ending. Alright, I think Sayori won. I think Sayori won. Alright. I want more Sayori. So, this mod is a comedy-based mod. Centered around the idea of, what if MC joined the literature club, but it was actually full of Sayori? If every single person was replaced with Sayori. I like this mod because this mod could have easily just been every person is Sayori and they all act exactly the same. Like, they all just act like Sayori. But I like that this mod, it took every person is Sayori, but it's not just that. It's Sayori, but Sayori in the role as that character. The character's roles were still there. So, like, for example, there were still a tsundere, just it wasn't Natsuki. It was now Sayori. So now it's like it was a tsundere Sayori. So she kind of still acted like Sayori, but she still kind of acted like Natsuki. Or, you know, there was the Monica Sayori. There was, like, the leader of the club Sayori who acted very close to Monica, but still acted a little bit like Sayori. So I thought that was funny. I also like that MC didn't just accept it. He was just accept how weird it was. He was just like, what the fuck? Like, I like that he was the straw man. Like, you know, like, he was just like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, that was really funny. I like the fucking, I like the coding where the fucking, it zooms in when Sayori's like trying to guilt trip him and he's like, what? It's like the fucking zooming in and she's all sad. Like, I think that was really funny. I feel like coding like that works extremely well for comedy mods because you're not supposed to be immersed. I feel like coding with that for like a serious mod or something wouldn't really work because you'd feel immersion. It feels like it would slightly break the immersion if it's like a character sad and it's like zooming in. Like, you'd be like, what is happening? It's like, I feel like those effects work extremely well for a comedy mod because, you know, it's like you're not supposed to be immersed. You're just supposed to laugh. So thank you for the input, Monica's fan. I appreciate it. Monica, please.
Huh?
Your fan. Arr.
Your fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was good. I also thought it was the way the mod ended with the fucking Natsuki club. I thought that was funny. The only problem is now you already know that you're gonna get tons of people being like, I want to see the other clubs. So now that you've introduced the Natsuki club exists, but let the fan stay. No, the fan doesn't get to stay. But yeah, I think it was a pretty.
Chat like the fan. You're the only one who doesn't.
It was pretty short, but I feel like it was pretty solid in what it intended to be. It'll just be a little funny mod. It didn't rely on shit. It didn't rely on like bad memes or anything to be funny. It relied on itself to be funny to make the jokes, which is some of my favorite when it comes to comedy mods. You know, it actually just relied on the writing to be funny, or it didn't rely on like just that's so random, right, guys? Like, you know, it actually relied on actual jokes.
Yeah.
So, because I think it's like I want to give it an A tier, but it's something where I'm like, can I give a mod that? I mean, I gave Club an A tier. I guess I could give this an A. Technically, though, Club's longer. It's like a part of me thinking maybe B+ just because it isn't too long. You know, it's like it would feel, but I feel like, but I don't know if it's like, should I really judge something by its length though? Like if something's short enough, if it's a short mod, but it does what it intends to do, then it works. You know, it's like technically it should get A because it set out what it wanted to do. So I mean, I think A works. I think it's a solid A. Because I feel like judging something because it was too short that would force people to make longer mods and stuff, and it's like that's not really necessary. You shouldn't have to make your story longer just for it to get like a higher rating. Yeah, I think it's A. You gave Can You Spare a Poem an A. Give this an A too. I feel like Can You Spare a Poem was actually longer though. But yeah, regardless, I don't want to judge by length of the mod. So yeah, it set out what it wanted to do. So it gets an A tier. A for amazing. I like it. All right. Longer by like 5 minutes, I guess. You know what, Ayat? Don't make me beat you up.
That's violent.
Yeah, guys, come on now. It's not about length. It's about how you use it. The entire time I was talking about that, I was just sitting here like, this sounds so sexual out of context. Like, the entire time I was talking like that, I was like, oh my god.
Shouldn't have to make it longer for it to be better.
Alright. So, bad ending or hear me now? Go, chat, go. I see a hear me now. I see a bad ending. I see a bad ending. It's not about it's about technique, not like technique.
Technique.
Can we get 0 to rap again? I'm only rapping for money, and if it's the DK rap.
The 2 criteria must be met.
or the Persona rap.
Persona rap.
Persona
oh.
3. It's Lotus Juice. Anyway, it seems like a lot of bad endings. So, bad ending. Doki Doki Takeover bad ending. This is basically a non-canon ending to Takeover. This is basically a what if Monica couldn't make it back into their world, what would have happened. The mod is about 3 songs. And it's spooky. I like it's not really scary, which I think I mentioned before. I was like, which honestly is hard to even do in a rhythm game anyway. Like trying to scare people while they're playing music, it can't really work, especially if you make good sounding music. So it's like I do like that it doesn't try to scare you, I think is what's really good about this. Because it doesn't try to scare you or compete with DDLC. It really just seems like it's more of a callback to the original games, like scares, you know, like it really just feels like it was made just to kind of be like, oh, you know, like remember this, you know, it's nice little homages, I think, to Act 2 of DDLC. It's really what it felt like, because like, you know, Natsuki's eyes popping out of her head, the fucking Yuri being up close to you, the Sayori like happy thoughts fucking like art style, like I think that was really neat, you know. It was a nice little callback to the horror part of DDLC. It's like, so yeah. The music was fine. I might be in the fucking the minority where, I mean, I don't know. None of the music really like did anything amazing for me. I thought they were good. I thought they were good songs, but like, you know, none of the songs were really things where I was like, ooh, you know, like where I like loved it, you know. Like they were good music though. It was still good music. It's just, I don't know. I kind of find that I never. This is probably just something with me though, because most Friday Night Funkin' songs that I listen to, I never end up liking the songs that end up being hard. It's kind of funny. It's like most of the songs with so much charting, I end up not really even liking the song, like to listen to later. Like most of the songs I feel like I end up listening to are ones that are just kind of chill. Like I don't know. So that's where I was like, but yeah. The songs are fine. They met their criteria. But yeah, it was at least for the most part. I think bad ending gets, I think it's solid A tier. You know, it's like a little extra thing. A nice little 3-song mod. Yeah, I think it's an A tier. I wouldn't say I like it more than regular Takeover. But thank you, DK. I'd say it does its job, though. Yeah. Just squeeze this one in here. Listening to Home makes me sad. Yeah, see, I don't know what I'm saying. It's like the songs didn't really do much for me personally, but I thought they weren't bad to listen to. So, you know, it's like it doesn't get a negative for that. Yeah, they aren't bad to listen to. Thank you for the $5, Dong Leoid. What about the Pokey rap? Wait till after we do this tier list. I think it's most hard songs prioritize notes over actually being a song, so they just end up like that. That's probably why, yeah. Maybe that is why. Cause yeah, as I say, it's like most songs I ended up liking are like, you know, Cassette Girl songs, Garcella, or even like the songs from regular Takeover. You know, like I really like a lot of those, and they don't have like that much fucking notes. Only actual issues, the Happy Thoughts got used once, and that's it. I know why, but it's a good art style and never got used again. I mean, it definitely feels like Natsuki got the short end of the stick when it came to the songs. Because, you know, it's like Yuri got like a fucking unique fucking, she got a unique looking thing. Sayori got a unique art style, and then Natsuki just kind of gets regular Friday Night Funkin' art style. Natsuki got the shaft, but it's okay. That's also a callback. That's also a callback to base DDLC. Natsuki once again gets it. It's just like Act 2. Fuck. That's another callback. It's canon. Very good. Duster showed up just to see Takeover get raided. There it is. It gets a solid A tier. Natsuki gets bullied by everything. Jesus. Well, you know, maybe it's payback. You know, maybe Natsuki should be nicer. Staying true to the story. But yeah, very nice. Very nice. Look at that. Finally, now the title of Afro Zero's DDLC fan game / mod tier list finally helps a little bit more. Now we're getting there. Actually, technically, it still technically counts for mod because it's just not a mod of DDLC, but it is a DDLC mod, so technically it still worked the title. Huh. The more you learn. Anyway. All that aside. Natsuki is a song she gets to go off. It's perfectly balanced. That is true. Natsuki's song is like one of the ones I think most people bring up. So that is fair. She does get home. Alright. So now we're down to our final mod for today. Hear Me Now. Now we're into DDTO Plus. I can't rate DDTO Plus. It's not out. Alright, so Hear Me Now. Hear Me Now is a Psionica mod. It was very short. It wasn't like fucking like what, 15 minutes? 10 minutes at most. It was a very short Psionica mod. I think I've mentioned I don't ship Psionica personally. I don't know. I don't think I really ship any of the girls with each other, you know? Like, but I don't really mind anybody who does. If anybody does, then go right ahead. But, you know, just me personally, I don't really ship any of the girls. But this mod was cute though, you know? I thought it was cute. Obviously, it's based off of a like I've mentioned, I think it was based off of a Dojin. Still don't know if I'm saying that right. I think I'm saying Dojin right. It's based off a Dojin where it's based off a Dojin, a Psionica Dojin, created by I think Minazoe. Did I say that right? I think I hope I probably butchered their name. But it's based off that, and for the most part, this mod just kind of feels like it's more of a promotion for the Dojin. But it works, it's cute. It's a cute little story, you know? Like, Monica writes a song for Sayori, and then, you know, it turns out, she reveals to Sayori that she wrote the song for her. It's cute. I think my only really negative with it was some of the expressions for Monica felt a little weird, and some of the grammar. There was, like, some third person talking from Sayori, like, twice. Like, she said Monica while Monica was right there in front of her, and it just felt really weird. So, but for the most part, I think it was a good mod. I think I'd give it a solid B+. Because like I said, it did what it set out to do. There wasn't really much, since it's just so short, it's like some of the problems with it I feel like kind of affects it overall, since there's not much to it. So, it's like, I think it's a solid B+. Honestly, it's a cute little mod. It's cute. It's harmless. I think it's a nice B+. What? No. Was it shorter than One More Sayori? Yeah, it was. It was extremely short, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this mod was like I said, I'm pretty sure it was like 10 minutes. But yeah, it's short, it's sweet, and it's gay. Perfect. Yeah, it was short and sweet. It was a short, little, sweet mod. I liked it. Also, grammar errors are because I think English is their native language. It might be. That might be definitely why. For the most part, though, the grammar, like, I think the only grammar problems I really could remember was the ones of Sayori talking in third person. Because, like, the confession was cute. Like, everything was cute about it. Like I said, just there wasn't really much for me to say because it was very short. Wasn't much I could really talk about with it. Short and gay, just how I like them. Thank you, Elvis, for telling us your preference. I appreciate it. 10 minutes is kind of long, guys. Well, no, 10 minutes in terms of I'm banking on 10 minutes from me having to voice it. If you played the mod yourself, it would probably take you around like 2 to 3 minutes to finish. Just reading everything in your head. Because that's because I was voicing it, and also I think like saying some things to chat every so often. So that was like fucking. You play the mod yourself, you probably take about like only a few minutes. But yeah. So 10 minutes is short. Okay, noted. I mean, it's short for a DDLC mod, I'd say. But it's also, but again, like, I don't think anything, but again, like, length is never really an issue when it comes to a mod. As long as you do what you set out to do, the length doesn't really matter. As long as it doesn't lag around. If anything, sometimes having a longer mod can sometimes be bad, because it's like having a longer story, you know? You start having a bunch of unnecessary stuff in it. So sometimes being a shorter mod is actually for the best. I think I Want More Sayori was the perfect length. It was. I think I Want More Sayori was the perfect length. It was a good length. I was gonna say, it's like, because I hope some people don't think, like, I need to make my mod super long or super big. It's like, you don't have to do that. There are plenty of mods that are short that people end up loving. Fucking hell. Fucking, what? Can You Spare a Poem, for example? We were talking about that earlier. Fucking, that one's extreme. That one's pretty short, too. That one's great. Story's only as long as it needs to, the story only has to be as long as it needs to tell it. Exactly. But yeah, let me just do a quick sweep up for everyone, since we have to zoom in now to see this, because I had to make the fucking resolution so big. So yeah, this is what our S tier looks like. This is what the A tier is looking like. I don't think I want to make any changes as of right now. I think everything is where I want it to be. You know? Sayori says no to suicide. Summary hump. Gas syndrome. Our time. Yeah. Longer roads. I do need to go back and play the other routes for longer roads, because apparently the other routes are interesting. And by interesting, I mean people say they vary in quality, so I might need to play that. Move Blue Skies down so I can back my mod being in a higher tier. My mod's better than Blue Skies. Nah, no, Blue Skies is A tier. I feel Blue Skies is A. I think Blue Skies is A. If I had an A minus, then maybe I'd move Blue Skies there, but I think it's A. It's not enough for B plus, I feel. Project Outsider, We're Allergic Club, We're Allergic Club. And the A minus would only be because the Natsuki route is kind of odd, but even then, the Natsuki route is okay. It's not too bad. The Sayori route's really good. The only problem with Sayori route I think I have is how random her sex scene is. Don't worry, you can still brag about being higher than exit music on the tier list, I guess, or fruits. Or routes you do for longer roads? I forgot. I did the Monica route in longer roads. Yeah, these are all the C tiers. See, I don't know if I want to make a C+. Like I said, I have to wait. I have to fucking... I'd have to see more mods be put in C+ for me to really justify making a C+ tier, chat. I feel like... You forgot to zoom in on D tier! Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. There we go. Still holding out for Blue Sky's Yuri route playthrough. That'll happen eventually. I just haven't been so keen to do it because just how long Blue Sky's routes are. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna be playing it for a while, you know? The logo for Walking Doki is really good. I like all these logos, honestly. A lot of people show how good their logos are. I really like this. You know, it's nice to be able to look at these logos. It's funny because, like I said, you look at some logos, like Salvation, it's just, you know, very basic logo, and then it's like you see it next to things like Doki Doki Repentance, or like, you know, fucking One Last Memory, or like Bad Ending, and you're just like, damn, these logos are really cool, and then you're just like, damn, Salvation. But again, you know, a logo, you don't have to do a bunch of crazy shit with a logo. Plus, Salvation was very early on in DDLC mods. Not too early on, but kinda. So... it's understandable why, you know. Fucking, then you got Diablo with his Weeb logo. Fucking, oh my god, DDLC Plus music playing. It's perfect. Yeah. I think that's it for the. Oh my god, I was just about to Thank you for the resub, Rogue Wolf. 10 months. And for the 5 gift subs, my man. Thank you. Holy shit. I got you create a tier list based on what? What is that, Nora? I have thought about doing some other tier lists. Because, you know, I've done other tier lists, you know, already on the channel. But I have thought about doing some other DDLC tier lists. And, like, just for other things. I don't know if I ever want to, though. I think someone mentioned, like, MC tier lists. And I'm like, can't really do that. Because not all MCs really do enough for me to really change. For me to really put them in, like, tier lists for a mod. But there are some. I'll probably see about that, maybe. Who knows? Maybe in the future, might do that. Sure do love me some DDLC logos. I do love me some DDLC logos. Look at them. Just look at them. Look at them. Look at them. No, I won't be able to rate Vigilante MC because I wrote that.